Hello, thank you for being there with me. I want us to look at the concept of circular motion. Now, by this circular motion, we mean those objects, those bodies whose motion are in circular path, or who undergo circular motion, or who move around a circle. For example, the motion of the blades of a fan. Now, if the motion of the blade of a fan, assuming we have a motion like this, and of course, this is the center. And then, on a similar example, assuming we have, let's say, a piece of stone attached to one end of an inelastic string, and then it is whirled round in a circular path. Now, if the string cuts, that stone will have to move off. Assuming this is the point where the stone cuts, now it is moving. That stone will now move in this direction. If it moves in this direction, let's say anti-clockwise direction, it will move with a certain speed. Now, if it moves with a speed v, the next thing we'll take is the acceleration. Now, the acceleration is always directed towards the center of the circle. Of course, the distance, if here is the center, the distance from here to here is known as the radius of a circle. Now, see, the acceleration is directed towards inwards towards the center. We can represent it as AC. In other words, we can now talk of centripetal acceleration. Centripetal acceleration. And this centripetal acceleration is A subscript C. Centripetal acceleration is nothing but the acceleration experienced by a body undergoing motion in a circular path. That is what centripetal acceleration is. And moreover, this centripetal acceleration can be expressed as a ratio of v squared all over r. V squared over r, where v is velocity. V is the velocity or the speed. R here is the radius of these circular paths. Radius. R is the radius. So we can put this in a box. Now, as this body is moving, it has a force that sustains it so that it can continue to move around a circle. Now, that force is what we refer to as a centripetal force. Centripetal force, Fc. Now, Fc, remember from Newton's second law of motion, remember that F is equal to mass times acceleration. Now, in this case, we have already gotten our acceleration, which is this. We can subscript it with C, and then subscript this one with C, which will now give us the centripetal force. Now, since A is represented by this, we can now substitute it here. And if we substitute it, we now have that centripetal force is m times acceleration. Acceleration is this, so we can now have v squared all over r. And when we do that, everything will now give us that the centripetal force is equal to mv squared all over r. So this is a formula for centripetal force. Now, centripetal force is either we use this or we use this. I want us to consider another situation where a body is moving at an angle. So if the body is moving at an angle, it has its angular speed. So when moving at an angle, when it is moving at an angle, it has its angular speed as omega. Now, of course, from simple harmonic motion, we know the difference or the relationship between angular speed and linear speed. The relationship between angular speed and linear speed. Linear speed is v, and of course, this is linear speed. Now, the relationship is that v is equal to omega r, or omega, we can say omega r like this, since we are using calculator. So we can have this. So if we have this as our angular speed, yes, we have this. Now we can substitute here. Yes, we can put it here. Now, substituting into this, our acceleration can now give us AC, which is here. We can now have, in place of v squared, I can now have the omega r squared. Omega r squared. So this is a centripetal acceleration. Now, we can still come back here and substitute it here to have our centripetal force in terms of angular speed. So if we want to find our centripetal force in terms of angular speed, we'll now have F is equal to m, already m is there. In place of a v square, I will now have a v square. This is our v. I will now have the omega r squared all over r. It doesn't end here. We'll open that bracket. So if we open that bracket, we'll now have the f is equal to m omega squared r squared all over r. Something is common there. R is common. So this one can cancel one of this. If it cancels one of that, we'll now have that our centripetal force can now be written as, so when we have the centripetal force, we can write that our centripetal force as centripetal force in terms of the angular speed to be given as m omega squared r. So this is our centripetal force in terms of angular speed. Angular speed is omega. Why this one too is also centripetal force in terms of linear speed. Depending on what you are given, you will now know how to approach it. Okay, let us take one or two calculations. But before that, let us take a recap of what we have just done. Linear, the centripetal force here, This one also is still valid as the formula for centripetal force. This one is formula for our centripetal acceleration. Okay, this one also is valid for maximum speed or the linear speed. This one also is valid. Okay, we solved this first problem. This question says a stone tied to a string is meant to revolve in a horizontal circle of radius 4 meters with an angular speed of 2 radians per second. Calculate the first question. The tangential velocity that will move the stone off the circle if the string cuts. The second question is the centripetal acceleration. Solution. Now the first thing given to us here is the radius. R is given to be 4 meters with an angular speed of 2 meters per second. Now the angular speed omega is 2 radians, 2 rad per second. Now the first thing we are calculating there is the speed that will, the tangential speed or the tangential velocity that will move the stone off. Now assuming this is the part the stone is moving. Now if the string cuts, the speed is tangent, this is a tangent, and of course this is the radius here. Yes. The tangent here is v, and of course this v, because it is moving around a circle, along a circle, v here will now give us omega r. Now we have the formula v equals omega r, now which will now give us omega is 2, while the radius is 4. Now the tangential speed will be 8 meters per second. That is the tangential speed that will move the stone off the moment the strings cut. Now the second question there is the centripetal acceleration, and of course the formula for centripetal acceleration is omega squared r. Omega squared r, the centripetal acceleration. Now, or remember we have v squared over r as one of the formulas, but in this case there is no speed. We have gotten our speed. Either of these two formulas can go. If we use a is equal to v squared over r, already we have gotten our v. So v will give us 8 squared over r. The radius there is 4. 8 squared is 64. Now 8 squared is 64. 64. 8 squared is 64. 64 over 4. Therefore, the centripetal acceleration will now give us 64 over 4 will give us the 16 meters per second squared. Now, if you still use this formula, you will get that if you use this formula, which is omega squared. Omega squared is this times r. You will still get the same thing. Okay, if you square your omega is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 times r. 4 times r is 12. Of course, 4 times r, 4 times 4 will also give you 16. So either of the two formulas can go. Now, okay, we solve this same question. And this question says, a body weighing 100 Newton moves with a speed of 5 meters per second in a horizontal circular path of radius 5 meters. Calculate the magnitude of 1. The centripetal acceleration. 2. The centripetal force acting on the body. Now we are given G to be 10 meters per second squared. Okay, solution. Now the first thing we do is to bring out the parameters given to us. From the parameters given to us, they say a body weighing 100 Newton. That means weight of this body is 100 Newton. With a speed, the speed it is moving with is 5 meters per second. Remember, it's in a circular path. Now the radius there, r, is 5 meters. Now we are asked to calculate the magnitude of the centripetal force, centripetal acceleration, the first one, AC. Centripetal acceleration, the formula is v squared all over r. Very simple. Now this one will give us v is 5. 5 squared all over r. R is still 5, which will give us 5 squared is 25. 25 divided by 5. That means the centripetal acceleration is 5 meters per second squared. That is the centripetal acceleration. Now, the second question, which is the centripetal force. Centripetal force F is equal to MAC, because I've gotten AC. Now, M, from what we are given, there is no M there. So M is unknown. How do we get M? Remember the relationship between weight and mass. So the relationship between weight and mass is weight is equal to mg. Now from here, we are given weights. We're looking for mass. G, of course, we're given G here. Make M the subject. M will give us W all over G, which will give us 100 Newton over 10. 100 Newton over 10 will give us that the mass is 10 kg. We can now substitute it here. Remember, we have gotten our AC. If you don't want to do that, you can still go ahead to get this. But there's no need going back because we have gotten this. All we need to do is to multiply by M. So we now say F subscript C is MAC, which will give us M is 10. 10 times AC. AC is 5, which will give us 50 Newton. So the centripetal force acting on the body is 50 Newton. Remember we said that centripetal force is nothing but that force that keeps a body moving around a circular path with unchanged speed or with constant speed. That is what we call centripetal force. So centripetal force of this body is 50 Newton. Okay. Now we have this question. A particle of mass 0.01 kg is fixed to the tip of a fan blade which rotates with angular velocity of 100 radians per second. If the radius of the blade is 0.2 meters, the centripetal force is one of these options here. Solution, just straight to the point. The mass of the particle M is 0.01 kg, fixed to the tip of a blade which rotates with angular velocity of 100 radians. So we have angular velocity omega 100 rad per second. If the radius of the blade is 0.2, that means R is 0.2 meters. Now we are asked to find the centripetal force. So we have F is what we are looking for. Now the simplest way, and of course from the formulas we have, please for the formula check the link. If you have not followed the lesson, the link is in the comment section. Now we have F is M omega squared R. So which will give us FC equals M. M is 0.01 times omega. Omega is given to be 100. 100 squared times R. R is 0.2, which will give us 0.01 times 100. 100 squared is 10,000. 100 squared is 10,000 times 0.2, which will give us now times 0.01 times 10,000 times 0.2. At the end of the day, the centripetal force is given us as 20 Newton. And 20 Newton is option B. Alright, this is where we end the lesson. Feel free, if you find this lesson interesting, hit the like button, share this video, and then follow for more. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel so that the moment I upload the lessons, you'll get notified, especially for students who are writing JAMB and then who are writing their WAEC. Thank you.